Hello, and welcome to First Chapter Friday. Today I'm going to be reading from Harbor Me by Jacqueline Woodson. She's the same author who wrote Brown Girl Dreaming and many, many other wonderful tales that our young children need to hear. This one is about a group of kids who they've been, kind of marked as at risk by their school, and they get pulled to just have a community where they can talk to each other about things that they don't talk about normally. The room they go to, they call the art room, or a room to talk, where they can feel safe and talk about what's giving them anxiety in their lives. So one is worried because a family member has disappeared. Another one is worried about family getting deported. And some are just wanting a place to belong. So a teacher friend of mine read this and said that it was her favorite book that she's read this year, that it's just a wonderful, wonderful story and everyone should read it. So I figured it was a good place to start for First Chapter Friday. So here we go. We'll leave now so that this moment will remain a perfect memory. Let it be our song and think of me every time you hear it. Betty Smith, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Chapter 1. We think they took my pappy. It's over now, or maybe it isn't. Maybe, even as I sit on my bed in the dying light of the late afternoon, it's beginning again. Maybe Miss Laverne is looking over the new class list, her finger moving down the row of names. Maybe her, she's thinking, and him, and her, but it won't be the same. It won't ever be the six of us together again. We think they took my pappy. My uncle is a musician and a storyteller. He says the hardest part of telling a story is finding the beginning. I've pulled the voice recorder from my closet and have it sitting on the middle of my bed now. When I press play, Esteban's voice fills my room. It's scratchy and far away sounding, but still, Esteban is here again, and all of us are sitting in our small circle in a place we called the art room. Nobody knows where he's at. Outside, a blue jay perches on the edge of a branch. Ailanthus tree of heaven. Miss Laverne taught us that. It's the same tree the girl in A Tree Grows in Brooklyn saw from her fire escape. The thing about that tree is that it could grow anywhere and keep growing. And that was the metaphor. That even when things got really hard for everyone in that story, even when the dad died and the mom had to scrub more and more floors to make money, even when the kids didn't have anything to eat for days and the apartment was freezing, the tree kept growing. The main character, her name was Francie, she was like that tree. Miss Laverne said all of us, Esteban, Diego, Holly, Amari, Ashton, and even me, we're like that tree too. My uncle is moving out tomorrow. He's really the only parent I've ever known. He says, this is a beginning. He says, now you'll have 2 houses to go to. He says, you're 12 now, Haley. You're ready. But I'm not ready. This afternoon, I miss everything. I miss my uncle, even though he's upstairs packing. I miss the art room. I miss Holly and Amari arguing and Ashton pushing his hair away from his forehead. This afternoon, I miss Tiago's dreams of the sea and Esteban's poems and all the stories we finally trusted each other enough to tell. I miss the beginning of our story together and the deep middle of it. Once there were 6 of us. Once we circled around each other and listened. Or maybe what matters most is that we were heard. Downstairs, my father is playing the piano. Soft, sad notes floating up from the living room. The piano is old, found on the street a few blocks away the day my father moved back home. My father, uncle, and 3 other men lifted it up the stairs, then had to remove the door to get it inside. It's an upright, scratched wood and yellowing keys. My father took a whole day tuning it, and now the notes move through the house, dripping down at the end like tears, rising up like prayer. Upstairs, I can hear my uncle moving from dresser to bed and back again, and I know he's neatly folding shirts and sweaters into his suitcase. Most of his stuff is already downstairs. Boxes line the hall by the front door. His favorite chair is draped with a blanket. His guitars are stacked in their cases beside it. Tomorrow, he will move to Manhattan and start his new life. "I'll be the bachelor I was always meant to be," he said. Then, seeing the look on my face I failed at hiding, he added, "And I'll be back every single Sunday to spend time with my most favorite person in the world." I don't remember a life without my uncle in it. In 2 weeks, I'll be in 7th grade. My best friend Holly will be there. But there will be holes where Ashton, Amari, Tiago, and Esteban once were. "We think they took my pappy." I play the first words of Esteban's story over and over as my father's song lifts up to my room, as my uncle packs above me, as the blue jay perches in the ailanthus tree, as the world keeps on spinning. So I hope you enjoyed the first chapter. It is, by all accounts, a wonderful book. So come on by the library or go by your local bookstore and check out Harbor Me by Jacqueline Woodson.